So, so with series 1, the main drive of the narrative was from the three women's perspective. But in the next series, does that change? Do we see things from other perspectives than the three women?
Yeah, I think it initially it was about these three, about the women that came over on the ship, but then very quickly it's an ensemble drama. So it would be wrong to only focus on these three women. I think these characters are all. Why are you laughing at me? Was that really cringe?
No, you're right. Though.
No, yeah. So it does. The focus pulls out, and you do follow all the characters' storylines, regardless of, whether they're. Sorry, I'm going to go through badly. But yeah, so I don't think you are interested in all the different characters, but they all oscillate around each other, so they're constantly weaving in and out of each other's story arcs, which is why Bill's so good at writing these big ensemble pieces.
And is it refreshing to get such well-written characters for women?
Increasingly so. I think the audiences are not willing to accept drama that doesn't have fully fleshed out realised female parts. It's something that I think I always look out for when scripts come my way.
And some people have said that the women wouldn't have been so feisty back then, they would have taken on more passive roles. Do you agree with that, or do you
No, it's bullshit. That was an amazing thing on Twitter, I think, that you're talking about. Someone said, I'm so bored of seeing all these modern historical dramas where all the women are sort of feisty, and they wouldn't have been like that, they would have been submissive, which is complete nonsense. And actually that guy got completely destroyed by this incredible female historian, a couple actually. I think that it was more difficult for women, so of course they didn't have the same liberties and freedoms that we have now, but that's only gonna perpetuate this impression of women in our society that should be submissive, or that anybody who is strong or articulate or smart is unusual in some sense. It's only perpetuating the stereotype of the sort of meek and submissive woman, which is nonsense. But he did get thoroughly taken down. That guy who tweeted that.
So Stuart and Sophie, your characters had the most thwarted love story ever in series 1. Does series 2 bring happiness, or are there just more problems for your relationship?
Yeah, there's a lot of happiness, but in this world that's sort of full of so much peril and danger, it doesn't last very long. But I think we always come back to that as the sort of centre, as the heart, that whatever gets in between them or tries to crowbar between them, and pulls them apart, they always get pulled back together. So there's a little bit of trouble on the horizon for them, but hopefully it's not too much for them to handle. Know what I'm saying?
As Bill said, I mean, it just wouldn't be interesting to watch them have a happily ever after. So they do, and this is a tough life that they're living out there. It isn't easy. They do work hard, and they're faced with so many challenges. But what's really beautiful about their story is that it is real love, and that we were saying just before, actually, a lot of the characters are in this trying to gain something, but actually for the Sharrows, they're just trying to protect what they already have. That's their struggle. So yeah, they certainly come up against challenges, but I think you really root for them to prevail, don't you?
Yeah, and we do when we're reading it. You sort of. You go, oh God, does he got to do that? Do they have to? Why is that? Why, these things that get chucked in their sort of in between them and in their way. But that's what makes it exciting, and that's what makes it interesting. That's where the drama comes from. So, yeah.
Do you think that's why people love this time period so much? Because series 1 was so popular. There's obviously something about Jamestown in 1618 that's intriguing to people. Do you think it's because it's the ultimate survivalist story?
Yeah, I love dramas where something is built, where you start, and I think that's what's happening here. There's a whole world being built, although we've got this, the colony is there. With the farm, they have nothing, and they build something out of that, and then the sort of expansion of Jamestown and down the river, which, I think that thing of building a world, I find really exciting.
And Stephen, your character could be described as a bit morally loose. Do you see him as a bad guy, or do you see him as a survivalist?
Me that mic. he's not a bad guy, is it? There's no such thing as a bad guy. That's what we were talking about. In terms, there's different extremes of what people will do when they have a will to do something. How far will they go to get to meet their own ends? So I think he's very clear cut in what he wants. He wants power, he wants land, and he doesn't want the women to be there getting in the way of what he wants. So ultimately he has his own objective, which he sticks to, and he's from a military background as well, so he deals with it with that kind of with a firm hand. So is he a bad guy? He's not a very nice person, I would say, and I wouldn't like him if I met him, but I think, like all the characters, he's finding his way through to his objective, and he comes down quite hard on the girls, which is not going to show him in a good light in this situation.
And Luke, do you find it hard to keep a straight face opposite Mercy because she's hilarious?
Yeah, she's amazing. It's really good fun, like working with Patsy. So I do, to be honest. We have a laugh, and she's great, isn't she? I mean, it shows in the show. She's amazing.
And if you were all placed now back in 1618 Jamestown, who do you think would find it the easiest to survive, and who do you think would find it really hard to go about there every day?
Out of the cast?
Out of you, if you were all placed back there. And what would you miss as well?
They'll be fucked, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Actors, so
Pampered
would be
actors,
dreadful.
Yeah, but we are.
Max would find a way to survive. wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And what was the other question? Sorry.
What would you miss?
What would you miss? I would miss my family and friends and my iPad. Mostly my iPad.
That was really good.
Thanks. You want to
Feel
say
free to continue
Okay.
singing.
Can you sing your answer, please?
I would miss everything about the modern life. In the style of
You've got to join in now.
Sophie does the best Celine Dion impression.
Guys, this is being filmed. I'm not.
Please.
At 2 a.m. in Budapest. I'm not doing it now.
Titanic.
I'd miss my phone, probably. Really boring compared to that one.
Just sing it.
I would miss.
His lips were actually touching the mic there.
We've got to share that.
That's the thing, isn't it? When you get a microphone in karaoke, you do tend to
Swallow it.
You haven't said something that you'd met.
Mobile phone.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So you've got to sing now.
I don't know. I guess I'd miss my phone as well, or my freedom as a woman.
Yeah.
Sensible answer.
Yeah, medicine. Let's say.
Yeah, medicine.
So, when you researched this time period, was there anything that shocked you that you didn't know?
Yeah, there's a lot of great books on it. So we were all reading books before. I think it's just a fascinating time. It's kind of fascinating what was going on in England and Britain at the same time and just before, that sort of prompted them to King James to really seek out a colony and a means of making money. I think that's fascinating. Why they ever ended up there doing Jamestown? Because he was skint and he was seeking for other ways of making money. So I think the balance of what was going on in Jacobean England at the same time as what was happening over in America at the time is amazing. Amazing.
And any news about Series 3?
We're going again.
Is it going to be a musical? Are you going to sing your way through?
Yeah, that's it. It's the musical version.
I'd watch that, Jamestown the musical.
Yeah, let's do it.
And finally, were there any favourite scenes or, likewise, really embarrassing, cringy scenes that you want to share with us?
Why? So we're all a really big family on the job.
I'm not a Sharrow, by the way. I'm the bastard child that they had. Is that a horrible thing to say? Yeah. Baby Silas. Episode...
Well, we were saying earlier, I really love filming on the Sharrow plantation because it's so beautiful out there, isn't it? And it's sort of an hour outside of town and it's a completely different place to the settlement. So it's always just a really nice we tend to do a week each block,
Yeah.
and we just go out there and we film everything, and that's just always really good fun.
Yeah.
And we've sort of got our little sort of gang out there, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that stuff was all cool, and I got to ride a horse this year, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, it's all fun. It is genuinely.
Shoot some guns. We've got to
Yeah.
do some really
Ooh.
cool stuff this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some very cool stuff at the end. But yeah,
It
it's,
starts getting serious. I think everything ramps up in season 2. It's all been set in place in season 1, and then season 2 really ramps up. So there's lots of horse riding, some shooting guns, some good action, some good stuff upriver. Yeah, some exciting stuff. We're very lucky. We got to do some cool things.
Well, I loved Well, yeah. So thanks for talking with me and singing at us today. I'm sure that will get you work you never expected.
do you reckon?
Stevie's got lungs on.
Yeah, we just discovered Stevie Woods can sing.
And I want to see Jamestown the musical.
We'll pitch it.